Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Happy Saturday. For me today it's actually Sunday because I'm recording this video in advance. It's been a crazy day today. I got a late start on the videos. It's already 3:37 and I was feeling pretty sluggish this morning, so I was like, I'll just chill, do whatever. I'll start on the videos at noon. So then 12:30 rolls around. I am literally just sitting down to get started on the video and my mom FaceTimes me. And she found 4 kittens in a bush with no food. They were like thirsty and malnourished, and it's like 90 degrees outside, and the mom was nowhere in sight. So I had to go rescue those kittens, took them to the shelter. Now I'm finally back and ready to do the video. So today's video is something that I'm really excited about. It sounds kind of lame, but today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I enroll and pick my classes for the upcoming not only semester or quarter or term, but actually for the full academic year. So I'm going to show you my method to kind of picking the classes and then creating the schedule, because as I mentioned in videos before, it's really important to be organized. So this video is all about my organization applied to scheduling. The first thing that you want to do in order to get started to create your schedule is you're going to want to obtain a copy of the IGETC sheet. So it's going to look something like this. If you have no idea what IGETC is or you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely check out the last video that I posted just before this one. It's all about IGETC and assist.org, and they're really important things. Those are going to be your lifelines as a community college transfer, so check that out. If you don't know where to get a copy of this, you can get it probably from your school counselor at orientation or any drop-in session. It's also probably available on your community college website. That's where I got this one. I just printed it off earlier. And you'll want to get a copy of this because these are going to show you the classes that you need to take in order to be eligible to transfer to a UC or CSU. So pretty important stuff on this paperwork. Now, once you get a copy of this, you will want to determine what you want to start out with. So my suggestion is to start out with your basic classes. So your basic English, your basic core math. For English, you're probably going to be starting out with English 1A because everyone has to take that at some point. As far as math goes, you had to test into your math. So you had to take a placement test before you can enroll in classes for your English and your math. So whatever your math is, just go based off of that. It's probably going to be something pretty simple. So once you have the IGETC form, the next thing you're going to need is a copy of your school's schedule of classes. So every year, every semester, actually my school sends this out, so it's the full schedule printed out. It's also accessible online in PDF form, so just take a look there. This is important because what I like to do is go through this, see what classes they're offering this semester, and then highlight the ones that I'm interested in taking. Just a reminder that if you want to be a full-time student, you're going to need to take 12 units per semester. And each class averages about 3 units, so you're looking at about 4 classes that you're going to be taking per semester. So go through this. If you're taking 1 English, 1 math, you're looking at 6 units there, so that's half your units. Then 2 other electives. They're not really electives, I just call them that because they're not like core, even though they are core. And, let's say you want to take Art 1A and French 1B. So there you go, 12 units. Now you're going to find those in your catalog, you're going to go through and highlight them, and then you're going to look at sections because most of them are going to have multiple classes that are actually offered of that same course, and see what time works out for your personal schedule. If you have work, if you are, responsible for taking care of somebody else, you need to think about what time works for you. A lot of schools are offering classes pretty early in the morning, as early as like 7 a.m. There are also night classes. I think there are even some weekend classes, and of course online classes are always a great option if you can't actually make it to campus physically. Next, you're going to want to create an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Doc. And I like to do this because it helps me stay organized with the classes that I'm taking, and this makes it really easy to just outline everything, get it all out there. You can list any alternatives you want to take, and then go through and actually enroll in the classes. All right, everybody, now we're moving on to the portion of the video. I'm going to show you how I actually create my schedule. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set up a template that looks like this, and you want to include these elements. You're going to have the name of the course, the description of the course. I just make that very brief. Transfer credit, time, days, instructor, location, units, and section number. And honestly, section number is like the most crucial element of all of this, so definitely make sure that you include that. And then, like I said earlier, 12 units is full-time. So if you want to be full-time, make sure that you have 4 classes listed. But this also depends on how many units you are actually taking or how many units each class actually is. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this sheet, and I'm going to call this Fall 2018 because that's where we are starting. And then basically after you pick out all of your classes through the course catalog, you're just going to go through and add those in like so. So Anthro 4 is the name of the class. For description, I just do something very brief. So I just said linguistics because that's the class. Transfer credit. I put X because yes, there is transfer credit to UC or CSU for this class. Now, this class is a little different than most classes because this is an online class. So I just put O, and then same thing for days, O. Instructor, put the name of the instructor. Location, once again, it's online, so O. There are 3 units. And then the section number, this is what you actually need when you go to enroll in the class online. So it's super important that you have that. It's going to make your life so much easier. Then just continue on for the same thing. Next courses, ASL. There is transfer credit, times. You're actually putting the times because this is a class where you physically have to show up on Mondays and Wednesdays. You are putting the instructor, the classroom that it's in. This is a 3-unit class. And then basically you're just going to go through the whole thing like so. So continue for your next 2 classes. Okay, now once you've added all of your classes, what I like to do is just put the total number of units that adds up to, which is 12. So that way we know that we're full-time, we know how many units we're taking. And then the last thing that I like to do just down below is put a section called alternatives. So these are going to be classes that you could take alternatively just in case you don't get into your first choice classes for whatever reason, you get waitlisted, or for whatever reason you realize it doesn't work out with your schedule. So I just like to put 1 or 2. So for this one, we're doing art, 4-H. This is also art appreciation. It's online, Arnold. Online, 3 units, and then we've got the section code. So that's everything. And basically you're just going to go through and repeat everything for the next semesters until you have something that looks like this. And this is my actual course schedule for my entire 3 years in community college. So I started in the summer of 2015, and this is what I have. This is what I took in summer 2015. Moving on to the next semester, you're going to do everything. Up until, you don't need to do like the full 3 years in advance. I usually did the first 2 terms in advance. So if I started summer, I would do summer and fall because that's when the course catalogs are released. So if you're doing fall and winter, summer and fall, and then winter and spring, just to make it easier. And you probably end up changing it. That's the great thing about having it on a spreadsheet is that you can change it really easily. And then the other thing that I like to do is color code everything. So right now everything is red because I've completed everything. But let's just say the year is 2015 and I am currently taking this. My color for in progress classes would be blue. And then all my colors for my completed courses, just say it's red. And then for planned courses that I intend to take over the next semester, I would make it like black or green or something, just so it's easy for you to figure it out. And once you complete everything, just move it on back. So let's say we completed summer of 2015, we are moving it to the back of the line, and then that way you know that we are currently on fall 2015. Basically, you just want to repeat this process until you're finished. You're going to be incorporating the classes for your major requirements once you figure out what you want to study at the upper division level. Double check against assist.org. Once again, assist.org, if you're not sure what that's all about, check out the previous video that I uploaded. It explains pretty much everything. So you're going to be doing this, creating your schedule, plan it out until you graduate. That way you have a really good educational plan and you know what you're doing. You're not just kind of like floundering around, and it's going to make it so much easier on you, trust me. Now that we've gone through the portion of the video where we're talking about creating a schedule, I want to give you guys a few pointers that will help you as you're picking your classes. So my first thing to be aware of as you're picking your classes is please beware of prereqs. A prerequisite is a class that you need to take in order to be eligible to take another class. And the purpose of this is that it's supposed to prepare you for taking that class. So for example, if you're taking accounting 11, which is managerial accounting, you're going to need to take accounting 10 first. That's the prerequisite. So an advisory course is very similar to a prereq. An advisory course is listed on the course that you're taking. So for example, accounting 10, the advisory is math 902. Now, it's not required, whereas a prerequisite is required in order to get into that class, but it is highly recommended. Same purpose here, it's just gonna help you be prepared for that class. In a similar vein, you wanna watch out to make sure that the classes that you're enrolling in actually transfer. There are a lot of classes at the community college level that aren't UC or CSU transferable. And a perfect example of this is I'm really into like murder mysteries and criminal justice. And last semester, I wanted to take a criminal justice class, forensics. It was forensics. But I enrolled in it, and then I realized that it wasn't UC transferable. So I was like, well, there's no point in taking it because I can't even transfer it to UC. So I'm not going to take this class just for fun. So I was like, scratch that. And on top of that, there was no pass, no pass option. So pass, no pass is a great option for classes that you're really weak in. So if you are, say you're looking at a math class and you're like, not sure if I'm going to do so well in this, you may want to make it pass or no pass, because the benefit of taking a pass, no pass class is that it doesn't affect your GPA. So whether you pass it with a grade of C or above, doesn't matter. It will show on your transcript that you actually passed the class, but it won't show the grade that you received. And then if you don't pass, it will say no pass. So it's kind of better in an F in a way because it doesn't negatively affect your GPA, but it doesn't affect your GPA at all. So you can take that how you want it. I've never taken a pass, no pass class. I almost took criminal justice for pass, no pass, but there was no pass, no pass option. So I was just like, forget that idea altogether. Next thing that I want to talk about is waitlists. I personally was only waitlisted for a class once in my community college career, and this was because I signed up for the class late because I was replacing it with another class that I dropped out of in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the semester. So in terms of waitlists, you just want to be careful that you are going to class, showing up, taking the notes, making sure you're actually being an active student. I would definitely recommend introducing yourself to the teacher because that way they know who you are. And in most cases, you're going to be able to get into the class pretty easily. They just give you the ad code when you go during that first day or first week of the semester, whatever. But sometimes there aren't enough spaces available for the amount of people on the wait list, so the teacher has to pick. Some teachers will draw out of a hat. Other teachers will just be like, all right, the first 2 people or 3 people who showed up to class day, you're on the list. The benefit of the teacher knowing who you are is that if you have made a point to introduce yourself, you're showing that you're a serious student, so they're more likely to give you the ad code and let you into the class. So you get off the wait list and you're actually added to that class. So those were my basic tips on how to get started, jumpstarting your class schedule and your academic schedule for the next 2 to 3 years, depending on how long you're taking community college. Hopefully that helped you guys out a bit. Any questions that you have, just leave them down below. As always, I'm happy to answer them. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I am uploading a ton of community college and transfer related content on a continual basis every Saturday at 3 p.m. That is when I will see you guys next. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye.